We need to be on the side of the rule of law. We need to be on the side of law and order. We need to be on the side of calm and not chaos. And when members go into these settings and act this way, that when they push law enforcement agents around, when they storm cabinet secretaries in a press conference, I think it is wildly inappropriate behavior, and I think it sets a terrible message and tone for the rest of the country.
You mean Democrat members of Congress violently assaulting federal agents? And when nobody voted for him, unelected Senator Alex Padilla from California attempts to attack a female cabinet secretary, the Democrats all cheer him. Democrats, they firebombed their own governor's mansions. Of course, he's a Jew, so there was Passover. You know how they are. The Democrats, they're not on our side. A violent mob has gathered because Democrat Party hero Gilmore Abrego Garcia appearing in federal court today in Nashville, Tennessee, where he was involved in human trafficking for, 9 years. They say at least 100 human trafficking trips, and then he beat his baby mama, and she got a restraining order. Then she married him through bulletproof glass while he was in prison, and then he got out and beat her again. So the second time it was wife beating. The first time was just baby mama beating. But the Democrats are out there in mob, which is how Democrats travel in a violent mob. And the Democrats, they're out there at the courthouse in Nashville, Tennessee, getting all out. I want to get to that in a little bit. And you've got the Democrat senator, nobody voted for him, unelected, fake senator from California. He's a racist and a misogynist, and he attacked the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, Kristi Noem, violently attacked her. Security had to intervene. He resisted and assaulted them. He was dragged to the ground and cuffed, and he should be in Gitmo getting the Perrier spritz. Probably won't happen, but we can hope. We can hope. We've got amazing things going on all over the place here because these guys, and I love they have signs that are ICE. They make their own signs that they probably steal the boxes and steal the magic markers from CVS. And ICE stands for imperialism, which is bad, capitalism, which is bad, and ethnocentrism, which is bad unless they're practicing it on the left, which they do all day, every day. But that's one of the signs outside the courthouse in Nashville, Tennessee, where a Democrat Party mob is violently attacking in defense of Gilmore Abrego Garcia, the MS-13 gang member, wife beater, baby mama beater, human trafficker. And wasn't he also accused of a variety of sexual assault? And the Democrat Party, they're out there violently defending him because they're mentally ill. Now, you know how the Democrats love rioting and looting and plundering and assaulting the police and firebombing. Well, I tell you, I got this, a friend sent me this link last night to video of a great sheriff in Brevard County, Florida. His name is Wayne Ivey, and he is the sheriff. And, boy, he's not kidding around. And a friend of mine, Tom, in Florida, sent me the same link again this morning, and he was applauding and said, "This is my sheriff." He lives in Florida now. We went to school together in Chicago, but he lives in Florida now and moved there when he was a teenager, actually. And now he lives in Brevard County, Florida. And he said, "Hey, this is my sheriff, Sheriff Wayne Ivey. Listen to what he's got to say about the Democrats rioting and the Democrats standing in traffic, like in the 101 freeway in Los Angeles, California, and blocking. We didn't even get to these white liberals blocking a black woman on her way because they're all racists, blocked this black woman on her way to work. And she's like, I'm trying to get to work. I got kids to feed." And they're laughing at her, these white liberals, cutting her off. Oh, you got to go to work. Oh, now they're on welfare and their daddy's money or their granddaddy's money or something, like the governor of Illinois, the corpulent Pritzker, J.B. Pritzker. But let's go back to the sheriff from Brevard County, Florida. Sheriff Wayne Ivey. and this is why people are moving to Florida, to get away from the communist, violent mob of criminals, the bloodthirsty. They're worse than Iran. They're the Democrat Party, and they love Iran and support Iran. They, like Barack Obama, sending airplane loads of cash money, not even American dollars, euros, on pallets that had to be taken off with forklifts of transport planes that Barack Obama was giving to Iran so they could kill the Jews. And you may remember Barack Obama's priest, his reverend in Chicago at the Trinity United Church of Christ, and the guy that married Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, the first gay president and the first transgender first lady, right? And then he baptized their two children, and he famously, when Barack Obama was elected president, was asked, "Hey, you going to be meeting with President Barack Obama?"
Have you spoken with him since he's been in the White House?
You ain't gonna let him talk to me.
You know them Jews, the Reverend Jeremiah Wright, Barack Obama's spiritual guidepost. You know them Jews ain't going to let him talk to me. Now, I would say, just grammatically, you know those Jews, not them Jews, won't let him talk to me rather than ain't gonna let him talk to me.
You ain't gonna let him talk to me.
See, them Jews ain't gonna let him talk. No, those Reverend Jeremiah Wright, it's those Jewish people aren't going to let him talk with me. They've been Jew-hating anti-Semites from the beginning, and Barack Hussein Obama, mentored by a communist named Frank Marshall Davis as a teenager, he couldn't rush to the aid of the Ayatollahs in Iran quickly enough, because I guess the Hussein part took over. But let's get back to the Brevard County Sheriff in Florida, Wayne Ivey. And this was at a public event. He's at a podium, and I guess reporters are asking him, well, what about riots here? What about blocking the roads here? What about firebombing things here? What about assaulting the police and spitting on the police here? And my friend Tom's sheriff, Wayne Ivey of Brevard County, Florida, is having none of it.
If somebody wants to know what I mean by turn violent, all right, this is what I mean. If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired, because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street.
I like that, run over and dragged across the street by the car, because the citizens can run you over because you're a threat to their safety, and they should be allowed to run your ass over. I apologize for the coarse language, but they should be allowed. And this is great stuff. And I love this. You resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. You block an intersection, might be dragged. Says you flee, you're going to go to jail tired. I like that. And that's kind of I don't know if he's an old Army guy, but the Army sniper motto. I actually have an Army sniper T-shirt with a man in the crosshairs of a scope. And the great line from the Army snipers is, you can run, but you'll just die tired. And the sheriff kind of took a piece of that Army sniper motto, the slogan of the Army sniper, is, you can run, but you'll just go to jail tired. And he's not done yet, because this guy, I want to have a beer with this guy. He's having a good time. You turn violent, you resist, but wait, it gets better.
If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play.
Graveyard.
This has got to stop.
This has got to stop. Graveyard dead. We will kill you. You throw a brick at a police officer while you're rioting in Brevard County or any other damn time, and it's no longer you're going to get hurt and then go to jail. You're going to be tired and then go to jail. Great stuff.
We will kill you graveyard dead.
We will kill you graveyard dead. I don't think I've ever heard that turn of phrase before. I liked that very much. I heard it last night, heard it again this morning. Made me laugh, made me want buy Wayne Ivey a cool beverage, a nice beer, and say, hey, Sheriff, this is where you want to live. The Democrat Party is the party of violent criminal anarchy. They weren't always this way, but they're the left now. They're not liberals. They're crazy, and we've got that going for us. Just great stuff. Love that sheriff. He should I bet he will get an award, maybe more than one award. He should be invited to, come and give speeches to police gatherings, because that is good stuff. Good stuff. Sheriff Wayne Ivey, Brevard County, Florida. We will kill you graveyard dead. You throw a brick at our police officer, you spit on a police officer, you're going to the hospital, then you're going to jail. That makes it pretty clear. I want to see those nightsticks be used. I'm a little disappointed I haven't seen more nightsticks being used. I don't know why.
And most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here.
Big, beautiful dogs. Most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs. You got to love it. We need like 5,000 sheriffs like this guy.
May I suggest using a nightstick, officer? Get out of
here! Great stuff. Now, speaking of illegal alien criminal miscreants, let's go to this Democrat senator who wasn't elected to nothing. He was appointed. He's another unelected Democrat fraud. And his name is Alex Padilla. He is the Democrat senator from California. He was appointed by Gavin Hair Gel Newsom. I think I started calling him Hair Gel, and now I hear everybody's calling him Hair Gel, but it's a perfectly good label for Hair Gel Newsom. And Gavin Newsom actually appointed this guy, Alex Padilla, who is the son of 2 Mexican immigrants and has no respect for the United States of America at all. His parents might be communists. I'm not sure, but he's a Democrat senator now because the Democrat hairpiece governor appointed him when Kamala Harris left her Senate seat to become, amazingly, vice president of the Democrat Party of the United States of America. And what kind of a clown car is this political party? Amazing stuff. They're the end of the world. That's what they represent. But Alex Padilla, amazing stuff. He actually attacked Secretary Kristi Noem at a press conference yesterday. He charged the podium, and she has security, federal law enforcement security with her, and the security had to intervene while he was, and it was a press conference, and she hadn't reached the part where she said, I'll take your questions now. She was addressing the assembled, and this Democrat, unelected, nobody voted for him, senator from the California, United States senator, attacked the podium.
Guys, ready? And sir, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your hands off.
Hands off. Why are you violently attacking the cabinet secretary if you're really Senator Alex Padilla, who nobody recognizes, even in California?
Hands on your back.
If you don't my hands, go ahead, put them behind my back.
All right. Cool. One hand.
They're twisting his hands behind his back because they're going to put the cuffs on him. And these guys are shoving him back, and he's assaulting them. He should have been nightstick to the head, knocked to the ground, handcuffs, leg restraints, and dragged away to Gitmo, where his family never hears from him again. I think that's the best possible outcome. That's they need a gulag archipelago, like their communist friends in the Soviet Union, the Democrat Party. Not a very good party. Not good people. Violent. They're senators. We had that idiot Democrat House member, attacking the police at the illegal alien detention center in New Jersey, where 4 illegal aliens escaped from there yesterday during the riot that the Democrat Party threw for the illegal alien gang members, because that's the Democrat Party today. You know that the all-new third-generation Eden Pure Thunderstorm air purifier has finally arrived, and it builds on the incredible success of the previous generation's model, which earned thousands of 5-star reviews on Al Gore's amazing internet, became a bestseller in no time. The new thunderstorm uses two technologies that studies have proven help to kill up to 99.9% of bacteria and viruses floating in the air, in your home, in your office, the air that you breathe. It also removes dust and pet stuff and smoke and a whole lot more from the air and helps you get rid of any stinky odor with no filters to have to buy and replace over and over again on a schedule. You can hold a thunderstorm in your hand. They're only this big. The thunderstorm will help get rid of any stinky smell, guaranteed. Talking about trash cans, cigarette smoke, musty basement smells. Left-wing protesters are no match for the Eden Pure thunderstorm, and will make the smells disappear in just a few seconds. Right now, you can save $200 American on an Eden Pure thunderstorm 3-pack for whole home protection. So you put one in your bedroom, in the teenager's room, the kitchen, any place you like to breathe clean, fresh air. All you have to do is go to EdenPureDeals.com and use the discount code CHRIS3, CHRIS and the number 3 to save $200 on 3 thunderstorms. That's EdenPureDeals.com. The discount code is CHRIS3. Yes, sir. Yeah, all right, there's more. The Democrat senator, a violent criminal. He needs to go to the penitentiary, don't you think? I think everybody agrees. Except for Democrats who are out there firebombing governors' homes. I think we need that senator. We need to bring him to Washington. We need a sheriff from Florida. We need him, and he needs a bigger job in Washington.
Sir, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary.
Chris here with a list of things that none of us should trust. The Washington Post, the New York Times, anything on CNN. Here's a list of things that I do trust. The Washington Times. Support real journalism for just $1 a week at WashingtonTimes.com/Chris. I gotta get into unelected Democrat California Senator Alex Padilla. Both of his parents came here from Mexico. I can't find anything that says whether they came legally or not, but as both of his parents came from Mexico, they're very excited. One of his parents came from Jalisco. I think we have got Senator Ted Kennedy singing about Jalisco, trying to do a Spanish accent, right? I think we've got from Jalisco. And his parents from Jalisco and Chihuahua. Chihuahua, it's a small dog. It's a very small dog. It yaps and things. The Chihuahua and Jalisco, where Ted Kennedy, all that. But it doesn't say whether his parents are illegal aliens. And then he, poor guy, long-suffering guy, because we're such a racist country, he went to MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, got a degree from there. And still he's an idiot. How does that happen?
Sir, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary.
Yeah. Well, are you a member of the press? This is a press conference. Maybe you'd like to wait for a congressional hearing. You're attacking a woman who's a cabinet secretary, and she's not, Interior or Health and Human Services. She's the Department of Homeland Security, where there are a great many threats of violence by people like you Democrat, and it's during the break we did go because I was just reading in the Wikipedia page about this clown, this unelected fraud, Alex Padilla, and his parents, who both came from Mexico, but apparently separately, and then met in Los Angeles, and they raised an ungrateful, selfish. But I mentioned that you may remember Senator Ted Kennedy because one of his parents from Chihuahua and one of his parents from Jalisco.
Jalisco. Tu tienes tu novia, me Guadalajara. Muchacha bonita, la perlas más raja, en todo Jalisco es me Guadalajara.
See, that's very culturally sensitive by Senator Ted Kennedy. He's holding that note. Is that when he died? That might have been the moment of death right there. And to say, he continued in the Senate for another 5 years, but... yes, there we go. It's good to be a Democrat, isn't it? This is making news all over the world, the Alex Padilla incident, which he instigated, which he initiated, which he perpetrated, where he assaulted, he was attacking a cabinet secretary, Department of Homeland Security, extra sensitive, a woman who's not a karate expert, and he's rushing the podium at a press conference where there are cameras and members of the press, television cameras, and members of the press who are waiting to ask the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security and former Governor Kristi Noem questions about the Democrats burning our cities and attacking the Jews and supporting Iran and doing all the things that the left, warmongering, bloodthirsty ghouls that they are, harvesting the organs of millions of babies because, need them for medical experimentation, just like they're doctors in the old days, like Josef Mengele. The Democrat Party would love Mengele today. He was a Nazi, Socialist Workers' Party. Here's the British Broadcasting Corporation. U.S. Senator dragged out of L.A. news conference. Yeah, sure, and handcuffed. And it's making news all over the world. And you'll never guess, Trump's the bad guy in every telling of the story by the fake news media. Democratic U.S. Senator Alex Padilla was forcibly removed from a news conference held by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem in Los Angeles, California, Thursday, and placed in handcuffs. Noem was giving an update on Inmigración Enforcement after nearly a week of protests. They're riots, but the left-wing media, even the BBC, they're just protests. It's wholesome, all-American looting and arson and targeting the Jews and the police. When Senator Padilla interrupted and started shouting questions, they leave out that he was rushing the podium. They left that, which is the physical violence part of it. And the BBC, they're lefties over there, too. I'm Senator Alex Padilla, Jalisco, he said as he was confronted by authorities. They've got the sequencing all backward here. I have questions for the secretary. This isn't a Senate hearing, which you're entitled to ask questions of the secretary. If you want to get a press pass, you can go out there and wait in line and see if you can get a place where the press are being seated. Video of the incident shows the senator struggling with multiple Secret Service agents. I'm not sure they're all. I think there might be FBI and it's Department of Homeland Security. But it is executive branch. Before being shoved out of the room and dragged away. Before uniformed FBI agents placed him on the ground and arrested him. They weren't uniformed because FBI agents don't wear uniforms, but they did have FBI blue windbreakers on with the FBI. Noem, who was speaking about immigration and the protests in L.A., continued addressing reporters and law enforcement officers while the senator was ejected. Padilla's removal prompted immediate condemnation and an angry backlash on Capitol Hill from the filthy, firebombing Democrats, where fellow Democratic members of Congress called the arrest a sickening disgrace, an affront to democracy. Now, you guys are the affront to democracy every filthy, violent, criminal day. So we've got that going on. That was kind of a lot of fun. Now, let's get because the Lizard King, Senator Chuck Schumer, you may remember Senator Chuck Schumer threatening members of the Supreme Court. And Chuck Schumer, the Lizard King, Democrat, went over to the Supreme Court, the front of the Supreme Court, to stand on the steps with a mob of violent Democrat criminals, some of whom were slithering up the steps like lizards, like him, and scratching at the front doors of the Supreme Court, the big bronze doors. Chuck Schumer yesterday. Well, this was on Chuck Schumer threatening the Supreme Court.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
And all the Democrats cheer. Listen, sounds like Lawrence of Arabia, the jihadis doing their odulations at the Supreme Court. And that's the mainstream, that's the highest-ranking Democrat in the United States of America, the Lizard King, Chuck Schumer. Because Kamala Harris, who the media tried to drag across the finish line into the White House, there is a great war coming to the planet Earth. I'm not in favor of this. I'm against it. But the left is bringing a great war to the planet Earth. There is a global war looming, and the Democrat Party is driving toward war, not doing anything to stop it. Now, Chuck Schumer yesterday, there he is threatening the spray, and then it was a matter of days later that an armed lunatic with extra ammo and kidnapping tools showed up at Brett Kavanaugh's home after Chuck Schumer threatened him very, very publicly, and the news media smiled and grinned and applauded and promoted it. Just amazing stuff. Senator Chuck Schumer yesterday on the floor talking about Alex Padilla, but completely inappropriately, Alex Padilla was not invited to an event. Nobody recognizes the guy. If he walked in here right now to this studio, I'd say, "Who the hell are you? Get out." And then he'd probably attack, and then my FBI agents would have to, Secret Service would have to tack them to the ground. Chuck Schumer yesterday at the Senate.
I just saw something that sickened my stomach. The manhandling of the United States Senator.
A reflection.
We need immediate answers to what the hell went on.
Yeah, what the hell? All right, here's the answer. Your criminal, Padilla, violently attacked cabinet secretary at a press conference to the point where the security personnel had to restrain him because he was so filthy out of control, so completely out of control, violently, and then assaulting federal agents, just like a House member who was charged earlier this week with violently assaulting federal law enforcement authorities outside of a detention center for illegal aliens who are in the country illegally. And this, LaMonica McIver, assaulting federal agents. She's a member of the House of Representatives. The Democrat Party is the party of the first Civil War. Their boy was Jefferson Davis. My boy was Abraham Lincoln. The Democrats shot him in the head and killed him because the Democrat Party is a violent party. Chuck Schumer pounding, I need to know what the hell. Really, have any assassins shown up outside of his home heavily armed with kidnapping tools like your boy did at Brett Kavanaugh's home? And he was planning on murdering 3 Supreme Court justices that was incited by the Lizard King, Senator Chuck Schumer, who should have been put in handcuffs for that, too. Democrat Senator Cory Booker, who famously pinned a man against a wall and groped his genitals with his hands at a Democrat fundraising effort in New Jersey. Cory Booker was he's emotionally unstable, and he proves it again and again. Very upset about Senator Padilla.
This man with equal dignity in this body,
whatever that means,
today was driven violently to his knees, as if made to kneel before the authority of the executive.
Zod.
Because he was so-called disrespectful. If you can make Alex Padilla
allegedly
forcibly kneel before this executive, when does it stop?
That's what he did to that man. Tried to physically force him to his knees at the door to the men's room at the Democrat Party fundraiser. But when you're a Democrat, that's just fine. That's not a news story at the Washington Post, because I think they're constantly forcing men to their knees there, too. That's the Democrat Party.
Kneel before Zod!
They're not very articulate people either, are they? They're not very well-spoken. Their command of the English language is not so great. Wonderful. And then Padilla. Padilla came out and he's like, where's the press? I'm here for a political stunt. I staged this whole event so I can play victim. And where's the press? And then the press is there waiting there weeping with him. Because he's a Democrat and we're all fluffers from the San Fernando Valley. We're here to comfort him. Padilla with the news media.
If this is how the Department of Homeland Security responds to a senator with a question, you can only imagine what they're doing to farm workers, to cooks,
don't cry,
to day laborers out in the Los Angeles community and throughout California and throughout the country.
Now, apparently he believes that all immigrants are farm workers, or what did he say, crooks? Yeah, he tried to say cooks, but he couldn't pronounce the word cooks. And day laborers, where they need these people with their big houses and lawns, they need a lot of slave labor. And that's why the Democrat Party loves millions of illegal aliens to, another Democrat congresswoman, they said, we need lots of immigrants. Why do we need so many immigrants in the United States?
If we don't have avenues for people to come here, we're not going to have anybody around to wipe our asses.
Democrat Congresswoman Becca Balint, we need immigrants to wipe our asses. And she wasn't being facetious. She was explaining their interests. And then there's Democrat Senator Sheldon Whites Only. He belongs to the Whites Only Yacht Club in Rhode Island with his wife's money. And he wears the Chuck Stripe suits everywhere he goes. He looks like a senator from an old movie, like Claude Rains kind of looking senator. But, boy, this guy's not bright. But he does belong to this very racially exclusive yacht club. And that's okay if you're a Democrat. He went on MS-13 DNC, where they want more gang violence in the U.S.
It's never a good look for America when law enforcement force is being used in political disputes, whether it's fire hoses and dogs and John Lewis being beaten to the ground in the civil rights movement, or, worse episodes from history in 1930s Europe. This is not who we are. This is
Nazis.
Bad day for Lady Liberty.
The Socialist Workers' Party of Adolf Hitler, 1930s Europe, wink, wink, and Sheldon Whites Only, as he's commonly known in the Senate. Hey, you get anybody of color at your yacht club yet? Oh, we let a billionaire from India have dinner there once, so we're good to go now. Sheldon, just and honestly, that Europe in the 1930s, that you guys are so close to being the Nazi party. It's almost astonishing what Nazis you actually are. The Socialist Workers' Party. My father actually killed Nazis. I'm sure Sheldon Whites Only, his father was at a Whites Only club and avoided service, no doubt. Sheldon Whiteman.
To me, this is the Joe McCarthy era.
McCarthy.
At last, have you no sense of decency moment.
Yeah.
And it's time for our Republican senator friends to call this and let the Trump administration know this crap has to stop.
Yeah, I agree. Senators have to stop, and members of the House have to stop violently attacking federal law enforcement and assaulting them, and then assuming that they're above the law because you're beneath contempt, but above the law. And Sheldon Whites Only should go out there with us. Aren't they amazing? The Speaker of the House is a Republican. His name is Mike Johnson. He is articulate. He does speak well, and he's got excellent politician hair. And he was asked by these the radical reporters that were frothing at the mouth, champing at the bit to get to the Republican Speaker of the House, because they've got to shift blame to the Republicans.
Mr. Speaker, did federal agents go too far the way they treated Senator Padilla today? Was that a bridge too far?
I saw the same video, a very brief video that I think many people did. I think the senator's actions, my view is it was wildly inappropriate. You don't charge a sitting cabinet secretary, and everybody can draw their own conclusions. You can see it's a heated debate here.
People heckling you here, Mr. Speaker?
I'm not going to respond to that.
People heckling you here. That's just the news media. Actually asking the question there, I believe, was Chad Pergram from Fox News, and he's great. He's a real reporter. Yeah, and I've got the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, straighten it out a little bit with the news media. I've got that coming up. The Democrat Party is a violent party. Their senators violently attack federal law enforcement while attacking a woman who's a cabinet secretary, the sexist, racist, misogynist, violent Democrat Party. You've got the one Democrat who wants illegal aliens to come in to wipe her private parts. And you've got the other member of the House attacking federal law enforcement agents at an illegal alien detention facility in New Jersey. They are the party that started the first American Civil War. I don't think they've improved much since then. And they lie about everything, in particular their own history.
My mind's made up. I've given this long and careful thought. And it has to be medical experiments for the lot of you.
Who's right? Who's right? Who's right? Who's right?
Democrats in Nashville, Tennessee, preparing to riot and burn and loot at the courthouse where Kilmore Abrego Garcia, the wife-beating illegal alien MS-13 gang member human trafficker, is in court. And the Democrats are out there. I don't know. Maybe they should have been aborted. I know. I could. Isn't that amazing? Speaker Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, talking about the Democrat senator assaulting federal law enforcement agents yesterday.
What I saw was agents asking him to quieten down so that the secretary could continue her press conference. He refused to do so. What were they supposed to do? They have to restrain someone who is engaging in that kind of behavior. They moved him out of the room.
Throw him to the ground, handcuff him.
A sitting member of Congress should not act like that. It is beneath a member of Congress. It is beneath a U.S. senator. They're supposed to lead by example, and that is not a good example. We have to turn the temperature down in this country and not escalate it.
Nah, not for Democrats. That's not their thing. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to Josh Campbell, the former FBI guy on CNN, who said, senators shouldn't act like that at a press conference with the secretary. Just saying. Oh, look, tomorrow it is my intention to go down to the big parade for the 250th anniversary of the United States Army in Washington, D.C. There's a full page on that in the Washington Times today. The Washington Post is just attacking the U.S. military because they're Democrats. Look out for crazy Democrats. Otherwise, have a great American weekend.